Hey everyone, my name is Sean Cecil from the Oculus Institute, and in this last video, we're going to bring all of it together and show you how to figure out the next step in your career. Okay, so go get your indicators for your career fulfillment, your financial success, and your internal alignment. The first thing you want to see is whether or not you're a 1 in any of those three. So if you're in bucket 1 for any of them, that is the number one area that you've got to devote your attention towards. So if for career fulfillment or financial success, that's going to mean applying to a different job. That's going to mean finding a job that pays a reasonable amount, that isn't toxic, and doing what you need to do to get into a position that works for you. Now, there are all kinds of tips and tricks and tactics and all of that kind of stuff that help you navigate the job search market and help you get into better jobs. I've got other videos on that. I've got other resources on that. So feel free to go, check that out. But right now, that's where your focus should be. Now, if your internal alignment is in bucket number 1, then there are a couple different things you can do. Now, if you're financially in a place where you're able to invest in a coach or therapist or somebody who can help, then by all means, go ahead and do that. If not, then there's a series of books that I would recommend that can be really, really powerful. Because I've talked to a lot of people where, one of these books was the gateway for them to a new way of living. And I'm going to put those books in the comments. I'm going to comment right under the video so that you guys can take a look, go get those books. If you have to, read them all, right? Getting yourself out of internal alignment bucket 1, out of that chaotic mindset, is number 1 priority. So for anything that's red, that's going to be your focus. And if you have to focus on both a new job and on, reading books and getting your mindset in a better place at the same time, then do that, right? So now let's assume that, either you fixed that or you didn't have any red number 1 buckets when you did your scoring, right? Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to get your financial security to at least bucket 3, right? So if you are in a position where you're a freelancer and entrepreneur, this may mean investing in some business coaching. This may mean changing your marketing. This may mean whatever it takes to get it to the point where you can reliably make what you need to what you spend every month, so that you're not in that kind of scarcity type mentality. You're not in that, I don't know if I'm going to make it mentality, because that really messes with people in their decision making. The next thing is, if you're in a job that's, bucket 2, unfulfilling, or bucket 3, bridge, your ultimate goal is to get clear on what's the target that would be at least bucket 4. What's something that would at least be the calling. But in order to do that is going to require you to work on the internal alignment first. And the reason for this is that external clarity requires internal clarity. If you haven't done the internal work and you're not clear on your authentic values, without any fear-based stuff or anything put in from other people, you're not going to be able to actually find something that's going to be consistently fulfilling for you from now until you retire. So if you've gotten out of all the bucket 1s, you've gotten to financial security, the next goal is actually to get your internal alignment up to bucket number 4, to unified, to get past the blocks. So defragment and get past the blocks. And that will almost certainly require some degree of assistance from a skilled coach or a skilled expert in the areas of internal transformation. Somebody who is well acquainted with neurolinguistic programming is generally a good idea. There are other techniques out there, potentially somatic work for trauma work, all kinds of stuff, right? And you can look into whoever you're looking to work with and make sure they have the requisite skills. And then from there, once you're in that place, you've got the internal clarity. That's going to give you the external clarity. You're going to be able to get clear on something that would be at least a calling, right? And there's a component of potentially working with a career coach to get that clarity, especially if you don't necessarily know what options, or you need some help getting creative on constructing an ideal career. And then you may need to plan out 1 or more bridge jobs to get from where you are to where you want to be. You may not want to just take a leap without creating some kind of bridge that maintains your financial security as you go through the transition and all of that other stuff. Now, if you've done all of this, right, then you're now in at least bucket 4 on internal alignment. You're moving towards bucket 4 on career fulfillment, and you are in at least financial security on financial success. And that's a pretty good place to be. You'll find that you may, as you build out your passion, have the ability to either, be an entrepreneur or do a side hustle or something that pushes you up into financial freedom on the financial bucket. And now you're in at least bucket 4 on everything, right? And that's ultimately where you want to go. Okay, so that's the pathway. Now, if you need help assessing where you are or on any of these buckets, or if you are looking for resources that will help you in your particular position, given where you are, then I would encourage you to go to www.oculusinstitute.com/purposequiz. So we have a very short, less than 5-minute quiz. It will give you what your score is on each of these metrics with targeted questions that assess where you are. It will give you potential resources and potential next steps. And it's completely free. So head over to www.oculusinstitute.com/purposequiz, and I'll see you on the other side.